What's up, y'all? I'm back with another live stream. I know this live was unexpected. It came out of nowhere, even for me. Let me just start by saying this. I had no intention whatsoever of even going live this morning. As you guys already know, to my schedule, when I typically do go live, I go live typically later in the evening, because that's usually when I'm after work and after I'm done everything. But it just so happened that this week, one, I came across something that was very important, a video that I really wanted to react to, and two, just so happened that my schedule opened up and I found some time. So it's a little late compared to when I scheduled it because I had to set something in the background, but nevertheless, the show is going to go on and we're going to dive. And look, this is, I think, for you guys who followed my channel like way back, you guys already know that I've been in all kinds of spaces, pro-black spaces, manosphere spaces, all kinds of spaces, right? And if you look at my channel history, there was a time where I was reacting to the whole pastel bro movement, to the dudes who were trying to go overseas and seek a greener pasture overseas. And one of the main faces, he's not the only one, but one of the big faces of the pastel movement was Auston Holleman, right? The guy you're seeing on your screen right now. And I remember I reacted to this dude and I kept saying, look, these dudes are not telling, especially black men, the truth about the reality out here. Okay? And I said, look, at the end of the day, I understand, the perception in regards to feminism. I get all that. But at the end of the day, for some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a water or something in the air or something in the water, but black men, for some reason, especially in these spaces, they just will do everything they can to avoid touching the racial aspect, which is funny to me because when you look at even the manosphere space, like the reason why there's even a black manosphere that exists is because white dudes feel a certain kind of way about y'all fucking your women, right? Fucking the women. Even though you guys were quote unquote, oh, so it's like if even in the manosphere space there's a racial divide, what the fuck makes you think that race is not going to play a factor when you're doing Paso Bros or going overseas? And Auston Holleman is a guy I reacted to a lot and who I talked about a lot in regards to, I use them as sort of like a social vehicle to really showcase like y'all are not being told the truth. And I remember earlier on, I talked about how when it comes to, pastoral rules, when it comes to interracial day, I said, look, globally, black people are at the bottom of the hierarchy. Okay? And this is going to immensely affect the way you're perceived by non-black people and especially your dating options. Yes, black women get it too, right? But I said also black men. See, the only reason why there's a perception that black men are able to do a little better when it comes to interracial dating compared to black women, because black men, because we are men, we can use things to compensate for our blackness. So number one, if you have resources, you can use it to compensate, or two, you can play into the quote unquote, big black Bruce stereotype, the BBC. You can play into sort of this stereotype to compensate. But that's all you're doing, compensate, right? None of that changes the fact that you being a black male, being black, puts you at a lower hierarchy. This is the reason why a white guy with flip-flops can walk into a room and all of a sudden, you had to come in with a suit to get attention. He didn't come in with flip-flops and just gets the benefit of the doubt. Because even though him as an individual white guy has flip-flops, because he's a part of a group of men that dominate the globe, that's how he's going to be perceived. And I feel like black men, for some reason, they go out of the way to strategically ignore the racial piece, right? Because that will destroy many of these narratives out here. But I'm like, but wait a minute. But I thought the whole point was that we're supposed to be thinking black men. Interesting, right? And this goes to all kinds of pro-black, all kinds of spaces. Because even when it comes to African men, because once again, I'm about all black men. Because bro, whether it's black men in Africa, black men in the Caribbean, like same behavior. So when you have the black dudes from the Caribbean, black dudes from Africa who go to Europe, the first they want to do is quote unquote hop on the white female. Same rhetoric. And by the way, shout out to King Richards. Even King Richards talked about this for years. How out here, like non-black women are not really chasing y'all the way y'all think they're really not. The only place you really have quote unquote advantages with black women, because once again, that's in-group preference, right? Every group of people is going to deal with their own group first. That's just how it is, right? White men have got advantage with white women. That's the same thing. But the moment you step out of your group, then all these other factors start going into play. And I was saying this for years because I was being attacked by the Paso Bros, attacked by SYSBM, attacked by attacked by a lot of folks, right? And I remember the previous live I made on this whole Paso Bro issue. I was reacting to Auston Holleman and how he was talking about how, hey, after he got expelled for Brazil, for quote unquote being accused of expelled from Brazil because he was accused of sex trafficking, he goes to Asia. And even in Asia, he talks about how, hey, when I'm out here with these Asian females, those Asian dudes feel a certain kind of way. Yeah, because you're black. and even the dudes, his followers had to be like, yeah, man, like when you're a black guy traveling, even in Asian countries, yeah, that feel a certain kind of way. But once again, this only applies to you, to black men. White dudes go to Brazil and do all that sex trafficking, sex tourism all the time. But because they're white, they get a pass. You go in there and make a couple of videos and you get international news coverage. You go to Asia, you see white dudes over there fucking doing it all the time, right? No one said anything. You go over there and all of a sudden do some kind of way. Africa, the crazy part about this is like he goes to Africa, right? Perfectly fine. And then leaves Africa and goes back to South America. Goes to the same thing again. Same thing, the racial issues. But the crazy part is that when I was saying that, hey, Auston Holleman, he's telling truths here and there, but Auston Holleman is not telling the whole truth. And I said he may be able to run from the racial reality, but eventually it's going to hit him, right? I kept saying that. I kept saying it. And guess what? The racial reality finally hit Auston Holleman. So Auston Holleman recently came out with a couple of videos in which he essentially told the truth, right? He essentially told the truth, like, yeah, over here, look, he said, I've been traveling and dude, like, I'm finally coming out and telling the truth. Yeah, white dudes are the preference. Yeah, black people, especially black men, folks are not trying to deal with you like that. Yeah, there's racism. He even talked about how he will go to restaurants with his white male friends, and they would always forget his food. Always forget his food, but they will always remember the food of his white friend. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So up until now, right, he's been going out of his way to avoid the racial reality, right? But now it's gotten to a point where he can't annoy anymore. He has to come clean. And you know what's so crazy about it? He literally said he uploaded his he said within a video that the best place for black men to go overseas is Africa. Think about that for example, right? Now, y'all look at my channel, right? Because I made that live stream almost a year ago. What did I say about when it came to black men going overseas? Did I say, hey, if you're a black man trying to go overseas, the best hope is to go to either the Caribbean or Africa? You need to go to majority black countries? I said that for years, right? And all them passport bros, SY, what are you talking about? We're the most desired. Everyone is chasing for the BBC. I said, okay, keep believing that. And now us, and all of the especially, you know what, especially BGS and more. And yes, I'm calling you out, BGS, because I was in the panels. I told you this, and BGS was in denial. He was like, "What are you talking about? I thought you." Of course, now BGS wants to kind of, now that the reality is coming out, BGS wants to kind of, slowly walk back his statement and say, "Oh well, actually, there is racism in these non-black communities." Oh, really, BGS? Funny how that works. But nevertheless, the point I'm trying to say here is that he finally got the wake-up call. And of course, most of his subscribers, the black subscribers, are in denial. That's fine, right? But he's telling the truth. And ironically, he even said that, yeah, probably going to Africa or majority non-black countries are the best place for you to go, right? He actually finally admitted this. But when I was saying it, funny how that works. Akuo Bank says, if passport bros really love foreign women, why don't they visit black countries in Africa, Caribbean? This one is not anti-black women. I'm like, that's true, because look, here's what else. Let's look. I understand the concerns when it comes to feminism, and I get all that and about submission, but here's the issue. You cannot tell me that quote unquote you're concerned about feminism, single motherhood, but you're going to South America. You're going to some of these countries where it is the cultural norm for chicks to go out here and sleep out of wedlock. It is a cultural norm for single motherhood. Many of these dudes are openly dating single mothers in South America. So obviously, this has nothing to do with feminism. You guys simply like the way these women look. That's the reason why some of you guys will go to South America, date a single mother chick, and I have no problem with it. But if it's a black single mother, all of a sudden now it's healthy raised. Like, I've seen this behavior. So when I realized that this whole passport movement had nothing to do with finding traditional women, it was just you guys gaining sexual acts with non-black women, that's when I said, okay, now it makes sense. But once again, pay attention how now Auston Holleman is telling the truth. Now he got his wake-up call, right? The same dude who was saying, fly over to these non-black. He was saying that, right? Now he's coming on and admitting that, okay, dudes, if you go to these non-black countries, you're going to be shown as a black man. White men have the better options. If you want to have a good playing field, go to Africa or go to black countries, because the black women there, they are used to seeing black men in position of power, which makes sense. Most African women don't have the fear. Yeah, that's what I realized. This has nothing to do with this BGS. Tell the truth. Maybe in the beginning, but now this has nothing to do with quote unquote finding submissive women. They simply just they like the way these women look. It's the feeling. It's the exoticals. That's it. That's why they'll give them all kinds of passes. Okay? But nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and play a video. That was my quick introduction, right? And before I put a video, I just want to let y'all know that, you guys are here with me with Hammer. All right, guys, I finished my introduction. So now I've given y'all. So now let's go ahead and dive into the video. Hold up, let me respond to this brother. Charles, nobody is saying that y'all are obligated to marry. That's not what I'm saying. I don't care. What I'm saying is that y'all need to start being honest. You guys flying, and it's not just African Americans, but once again, because you have guys in the Caribbean, all kinds of dudes. So it's not just black. There are all kinds of black men. So because I want to make it very clear, I'm not just talking about black ADOS men. I'm talking about all black men, because I've seen African dudes, I've seen Caribbean, same thing. Okay, Charles would be saying, I prefer black women, but I was easy to men. Bro, and that's fine. No, that's perfectly fine. It's what it is, right? But what I'm saying here is that this is not specific to black American men. I'm talking about all black men globally, because I've seen this behavior across, because the passport movement includes black men from everywhere. Okay? We get that. By the end of the day, what I am and what I'm essentially saying is that at the end of the day, right, folks need to start being essentially honest about this. As a black man, you have a way better chance dating and marrying when you're dealing with black women. Now, of course, if you go overseas, there may be more culture, which that's fine. But that will always be a much more better chance compared to going to these non-black countries. And I was saying that for years. And now Auston Holleman is finally coming out and telling the truth. So Charles, that's fine, brother. All I'm saying here is that that's really fine. All I'm saying is that whether it's black women in the continent or black women in the Caribbean, you will always have a better chance doing that than dealing with non-black female. Now, if you deal with a non-black, fine, but you're going to deal with a whole lot more stuff down the line. So if Charles were to go and marry, I don't know, a chick in North Africa, that's great, an Arab. But down the line, you're going to have to deal with an Arabic family. You're going to have to deal with you being called Abid. You're going to have to deal with a lot of racism, Charles. So let's keep it real. He says most passport bros here in Thailand are pure trash. Yeah, because the reality is that let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. It's sexual access. It's sexual access. But therefore, that racial piece matters because white dudes are able to go out there and sweep because they already have a perception of being at the top of the hierarchy. He's not trying to marry a hostile woman, another African Muslim woman. But I mean, that's fine. That's great. But brother, once again, you can go and get with a black female in the Caribbean, black female in America. But I can promise you, whatever tribal politics you're playing with dealing with that women is nothing compared to what you would have to deal with if you did outside your race. Trust me. She says Charles are B, but you're also not obligated to marry who don't care about you. Don't want to. He's 100% right. 100% right. Okay, 100% right. So I didn't say, look, you guys can go deal with it. That's great, but tell the whole truth. Tell the whole truth. There's more shit that comes with that. Okay, but you just have to marry a more, and that's fine. My thing is though, I hope you're ready to deal with what comes with that. That's fine, right? And I'm assuming that that's an Arab Moroccan woman, so that's great. So that means you're going to deal with the family, with the Arabic community, being called Abid. So it is what it is. That's your choice. For the men prefer the men of fiber group white men. I don't chase now, but most women prefer their own group of men. That's in general. Most people deal with their own group. Now, when they date out of the group, that's when all these factors come into play. Yeah, dude, Charles, I don't get it. I'm like, for you to deal with the North, it's crazy. I'm like, remember when you had black African migrants who were going to Tunisia, they were literally whooping the hell out of these black African migrants. Talking about we are Arabs, not Africans. So great. If you want to deal with, great. But whatever shit you were dealing with that West African Muslim family is going to be none compared to the Arabs. You're going to figure it out. You have to know, but also have all over also include also Muslim IS so brother. Once again, yeah, every group they're gonna have black into the hierarchy, but I can promise you that a vast majority of those women are dealing within other black men. Yes, because white men. Look, white men to the hierarchy. You're gonna deal with that. But the question that becomes, where do you have the best chance? The vast majority of West African women are dealing with black men. Let's keep it real with that. So you're going to have those issues, but there's going to be a way better chance in the long term dealing with a black female on the African continent, even regardless of the trial parts or whatever, compared to deal with non-black people. It's not even close. Because one, you resemble the black men there, you look like the black men who were in society, and you look like them. So it makes it a whole lot more easier to deal with compared to you dealing with a chick from Morocco and that's great, brother. But I can promise you, down the line, you're gonna deal with, like Auston. You're gonna deal with that racial wake-up call. It will come. The Abid. Come on. That's, oh my God, a Moroccan? Oh my God. It's crazy to me. Chasing a European Muslim. Once again, brother, you're always going to have so you always going to have that. But at the end of the day, the vast majority of women are going to prefer dealing with the ugly men. That's the reality. I can go to Asia. Why not to my hierarchy? I can go to China and see Asian females too. That's great. But I know that most Chinese women are going to deal and prefer with Chinese men. I can go to Japan and see some Asian, some Japanese female chicks. That's great. But most of these women are going to deal with them first. This is the illusion folks have. Yes, because white mental hierarchy, it's going to be easier for them to date out. But most groups of people deal within their own groups of men. Let's keep it real. Thing is, what's a black woman? It's not about race, it's about culture. American lady has almost nothing in common with a lady from Kenya or South Africa. I get it, bro. I get the cultural piece, but what I'm saying here is that if you're a black man and you go into these countries, you looking like the men there already give you an advantage because they're used to seeing men that look like you in power. That matters compared to you going to the countries where they're used to seeing men like you at the bottom. And that's what Auston Holleman wants to dive into. Yo, I need to get into this video. Let me just finish the comments. It's being honest. So in travel time with Paul, he says Asian women for black men. They will settle for black men. It's better to find a black man after. But yeah, Charles, once again, Auston Holleman made the video recently, right? Because his followers and even him at some point were in denial. But after him seeing, he said, look, most people deal with no group, right? It's only when they date out that all these fellas come out. Now, when they date out, white men are first. But when it comes to the first preference, they deal with their own group first. Charles Irby, Asian men prefer economy. That's a beauty ideal. Not even white men have a chance anymore. I'm like, look, it is what it is. But what I'm saying here is that we're not going to sit here and pretend as if most people don't deal. Most people deal within their own group first, including the women. Okay? It's only when folks date out that all of a sudden now the hierarchy goes. So in other words, if you are a black man, you're going to be the preference when dealing with black females. But when you deal outside of your community, then all of a sudden now all these racial hierarchies come into play and you end up at the bottom. White men are going to be the preference with white women. But when they deal outside of the white community, they're at the top of the hierarchy because white men are the top. If you date outside, the bottom. So all these racial dynamics only go into play when you date outside of your group. And the reason white men are at the top of the list when it comes to interracial dating is because white men are the hierarchy. But if these women are not dating outside of their group, they're dealing with their own men first. Let's keep it real. But let's go ahead and play the video and get into it.
Hello everybody, it's Auston Holleman, your favorite YouTuber, back again with another travel review, social studies video that I'm making about some things that I've noticed from traveling around the world, and specific in Latin America, but this could go everywhere around the world. Now, I want to tell you guys that black men, first of all, let's go ahead and start with this. Black men are loved worldwide. They love us everywhere. Bullshit. Let's start there. Number two, yes, there are women of every nationality that love black men. Those women of those nationalities are niche women of those nationalities. What do I mean by that? The general fucking Romanian, the general English, the general Thai, the general Filipina is not going to bed at night dreaming about one of us.
Often, because according to these dudes, non-black females are just going to sleep dreaming about BBC. So are you saying that's not true, Austin?
Generally speaking. And I'm not saying that they're dreaming about a particular person or a particular group of people. What I'm saying is this dream of that black men are just loved everywhere by everybody is bullshit. Now, that does not mean that you cannot get love from these particular women. For example, Latinas, obviously, there's a good number of them that are attracted to black men. That's the reason why there's so many mixed people. Maybe that's the reason why we can get.
That's not the reason why, Austin. The reason why there's so many mixed people in South America is because essentially when it came to the Spaniards and the Portuguese, they took a completely different strategy compared to the Anglos, right? The Anglo-Saxons in North America, their whole thing was, hey, we segregating, we're not admixing, we want to keep the blood pure. If you're mixed, they went with the one drop rule. If you have any black thing, you're black. The Portuguese and the Spaniards took a different route. They decided that, okay, we're going to purposely admix to create a buffer class. And that's what they did, right? So you admix and they created the mestizos. The mestizos are essentially a mix who are mixed between Europeans and indigenous people. And these people essentially operate as a buffer class society to uphold, right, white power and uphold the white beauty standard. This is the reason why South America does something called what? Mejor la raza, which means bettering the race. They have a whole concept of, hey, your goal is to admix in order to become more white. So the admixture there, but it's not because they love brown and black. The admixture is to progress towards whiteness. And that was strategically done in order to sort of, wash out those quote-unquote darker, browner folks in the country and to sort of create a sort of racial caste system in which white people are at the top. So the admixture was more strategic. It was purposely done to create a buffer class, to create a racial hierarchy in order to ensure that those of European descent remain at the top.
In another video, but there's a lot of mixed people in Latin America that have African genes mixed in them. And I know you guys don't think that somebody has African descent unless this motherfucker is as dark as an asteroid or as this shirt right here.
No, it's because black people are Niger Congo people of descent. So yes, you do have to be dark skinned and curly. But anyway, go ahead.
And their hair is as nappy as a damn BB. For some reason my followers think that's the only version. I mean, I wanted you motherfuckers think I'm black.
Because pure black people are not light skinned, bro. That's why. The pure blacks are dark skinned, 4C hair. Come on, let's stop playing ourselves here
at this point, because y'all don't think shit else is black. So anyway, do you guys ever notice how you don't see the best non-black women with black American men abroad? On average. I know some of you guys have very attractive Latinas, Asians, and European women, correct? It's a generalization, but I'm saying in general, do you see us going to get the most attractive women? And it's not because of our standards. Most of you guys that are getting the most attractive women are paying for pussy anyway. So we're not talking about y'all. I'm talking about dudes that can walk into a room and the 10 of that society that has the best men of that society going after her, are they looking at you? And if they are, I would love to see. A lot of you motherfuckers disagree with me and y'all don't show me anything. Again, if you're paying for pussy, we're not talking about you. I'm talking about dudes that are dealing with regular chicks that don't charge by the hour. They charge by the lifetime. That's what I'm talking about. And you know what I'm talking about. So don't come in my comments with that bullshit. Okay? Ever notice how you don't see that? Usually you'll see the baddest Thai chicks with a Thai or a Korean or a white guy. You usually don't see the best with one of us. If you do see a Vietnamese woman with one of us, if you do see a Japanese or a European, don't think that every chick in Japan has that same mindset that she does. Don't think that every Romanian chick has the same mindset as she does. They know that they're stepping outside of their comfort zone. They know that they're a niche. I'll give you an example. I had a chick here in Manaus last night that came over and knocked my socks off, right?
And folks who just coming in, yeah, he's breaking down the reality of how black women are perceived. But go ahead.
And she saw the video because I was uploading a video where I was telling you guys, or I was looking at the video where I was telling you guys that white guys get the best women in Latin America, or really Latin America and Asia.
Yeah, by the way, it's not just this video. Like he's made various videos talking about this. So you can tell he's got his wake-up call.
Right? And she's like, well, I don't like white men. I said, yeah, you don't. But let me ask you, generally speaking, would you say that the average Latina wants a white guy? She says, yes. Meaning that She's not the average motherfucker. I don't know why y'all don't understand that. She is a niche. She's a niche woman, not the general one. Now, I know some of you fools are watching this thinking, Austin's not having any success. I don't know how many times I have to clarify this shit. Oh, and I know y'all are gossiping about me like bitches too. I know that. I heard. And I didn't even have to hear that. I just assume that it's right. Y'all are predictable. But listen, man. The average Latino wants a white guy. Let's just stick with that. Austin has been having success in.
But wait a minute, Austin. According to some of these dudes, you know, every non-black female around the world is just dreaming for, brother, get your passports. Fly to South America, and they will be lining up in the airports to greet you like a black king. So, brother, are you finally admitting that that's not true? This is crazy, man. This is crazy. He said a close friend of mine married his daughter to Gabby, a brother I've considered the same person to. That's great. Seeing the guys in the party, some girl lady goes around. Okay, that's fine. That guy can talk and have a education, not and okay, fine. Non-black women often get ostracized or disowned by the family for even talking to a black man. These passages until the anti-black goes on. Yes, and that's the whole point. Austin, he's been. These dudes are not telling the truth. They're not telling the truth. It's only now that they're finally coming out and telling the truth. That's the point. That, yo, tell the truth, bro. You know that they don't want you to the fucking the women. You know that. I don't know what this means. Let's keep going.
In pretty much has there been a city in Latin America that I've been to in the last 9 months where I couldn't get any dates or any sex? I don't think so. I think that happened in every city that I went to. So I'm not just pulling shit out of my ass, okay? But you would have to be a fool to not notice the difference in how women treat white men and how they treat black men in Latin America, in Asia. I told you a number of times how I went out to eat with white guys. Somehow every fucking time I go out to eat with 2-3 white guys, they only forget my food. Now, if it's one-on-one, me and Casey by ourselves, they can't do that too much. That would be too obvious. But they play it off every time when we get in a group, like, oh, I just forgot the black guy's food. Every fucking time. Every time they're looking.
So he's saying, so Austin, so what you're saying here is this, right? What the fuck he says anti-black equals black guys actual black and only one thing. No, that's not what it says. Once again, white men are at the top of the hierarchy globally. And so that means that when these folks date out, they're gonna prefer going towards whiteness. But Austin, what you're essentially saying here is that as you were making all these videos, you know, advertising South America, you were going through all this racial abuse. So you were going to restaurants with your white male friends, and every single time they will forget your food. So they will always remember the food of your white friends, but forget your food. And as you were going through all these experiences, you were going on your YouTube channel talking about how get your passports. This is what I'm talking about. A lot of these dudes are not telling the truth. A lot of these dudes are not telling the truth. And so many of these guys are being racially tormented behind the scenes, being called the N-word behind the scenes, being abused by the families behind the scenes, but they'll hop on these things talking about, brother, I'm loved by white women. What? I'm loved by Asian women. I'm loved by Hispanic women. And it's only years later that all of a sudden now they come out and say, oh yeah, it's that Get album, right? It's only years later that they come out and tell the whole truth. This is the equivalent of a woman who's been in an abusive marriage, but she goes out there and smile, and then it's only years later all of a sudden we find all the abuse. That's what this is. How many out here writing on Pastor Bros lying. But I guess only now that folks want to come out and tell the truth. But go ahead. Tell us how they will always forget your food. And now your white friend's food.
Looking at the white guy's smile, come to me straight face. White guys come to me straight face. You can't help but notice that shit. I mean, unless you just an unaware person. I'm very aware of my surroundings. Maybe I take too much pre-workout. I'm very aware of my surroundings. I notice it. I don't give a damn if you notice it or not. I'm telling you what I see. And if you know if some of y'all know everything, if you know everything, turn this video off. Don't watch it. You don't need to learn nothing else. You know every goddamn thing. Why are you watching the video? No need to watch it. What would you learn by watching the video? For people that want to learn, that they haven't traveled and they want to know what to expect, continue to watch the video. Okay? Now, I noticed this difference because in the United States, I've heard men say that, oh, like the black women love Zaddy, wherever the fuck Zaddy is. I know what they're saying, but I don't know where the hell that came from. They love Zaddy. They love the white man. And whenever I was in Dallas, whenever I was in Austin, it didn't really, the dating wise, never really felt like a negative because I was black. Now, I'm not saying Latin America just feels like a complete shithole because I'm black, but at times, listen to what I said, at times I can notice that it is an irrefutable disadvantage.
What essentially he just said is what I was saying, right? Is that, look, when he is amongst black people, because he is a part of the in-group, it's easier. So yes, even with all the problems, at the end of the day, he doesn't have as much problems with black once again because they're both black, they're part of the same group. But when he goes to these non-black countries, right, him being black, and by the way, consider the fact that, South America has that racial hierarchy and black people at the bottom, him being black already, once again, you're already in the out group. You're already not in the in group. Then on top of that, you're black. That already puts you at the bottom. That's what he's talking about. And that's what I've been saying. It's already hard enough dealing with groups of people outside of your community. But that becomes even worse when you're black because black people are at the bottom of the hierarchy. So when folks are out here talking about answer possible, yes, fine, but tell the whole truth. It's going to be harder dealing with groups. In general, it's going to be harder dealing with people outside your own group. But it's going to be 10 times harder when you add the fact that you're black. And now these dudes are coming out and telling the truth.
An irrefutable disadvantage. I put up a community post yesterday about how these motherfuckers treated me like I was a butler. Ooh, that shit was annoying. Oh my God, it's so annoying.
They would treat you like a butler? Yeah, because in many of those South American countries, they're used to seeing black people essentially, I think of like black American history here and how a lot of black Americans are sort of treated as like the help, right? That's how it is too over there too. It's even worse. It's actually worse over there, remember. It's worse in South America because of just the colorism is even worse because there's a whole concept of quote unquote no raza, better in the race than just dating out. So it gets even worse. The progressive was white, so that's even worse.
There is another white guy I've been hanging out with, right? We went to a club, some chicks outside the club. They were waiting on him. This was his first time meeting them. Listen to the story, idiots, because I know y'all are going to have selective hearing. They were waiting on him, but they did not know him. There's a mutual friend that introduced them because he said, hey, can you bring some girls to the party? So they know who this guy is. They don't know who I am, right? So I walk up. The white guy is inside. I call him like, hey, I'm outside. Can you come get me? And at the same time, he was going to get the girls too. So he walks up. He's like, oh, yeah, Austin. These are some of the girls that's coming today. So he introduces himself because remember, they don't know him. He introduces himself. They do the little Latin America kiss behind the ear shit. I don't ever do that shit, but they do the kiss behind the ear thing. A very good smile. right? Top and bottom row showing on this smile that both of these chicks gave my good friend. And then, rightfully so, he says, oh yeah, this is my other friend, Auston. Now, I just saw these motherfuckers reach out to shake his hand. They reached out to shake his hand. They did it. He did it as well, but I saw them reach out. Like that was just like, it was just like anywhere else in the world. When you meet somebody, oh, nice to meet you, you know. Nothing special, just a typical interaction. Oh, this is my friend Auston. I swear to God, this is how they looked at me. Now, I know some smart ass is going to be in the comments like, Auston, you're not going to be everybody's type. Since when the hell did you need to be somebody's type to be introduced to them? Nobody said that I wanted to sleep with these girls. I'm being introduced.
Let's give a shout out to Game Changer. Game Changer. I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Yo, man, those were the old days. But let's keep going.
You don't have to have sexual interest in me to say hello, how are you? So I'm looking at him like, here we go with this shit again. So I stuck my hand on, yeah, I'm Auston. He just said that, but I stuck my hand on, yeah, I'm Auston. Do you know it was maybe a 2 or 3 second delay with my hand like this before the chick raised her hand to shake mine? How the fuck can you not notice that? This is not the first time some shit like this has happened. That's why I've come to these conclusions, because this shit keeps happening. And they never said I was a butler, right? But I'm falling under the impression that like, do these people think like, you know, like I work for this guy, or like I'm the house?
Once again, you have to understand, when you are in South America, there's a racial hierarchy down there. All right? It's even worse than here in America because of the purposeful, because the whole idea of mula raza and mixing towards whiteness is even worse. So just like how here in America, Black Americans are viewed as the help because of the history of slavery, all that stuff, it's even worse down there. I kept telling these niggas, telling these dudes, I said, look, tell the truth. One, dating outside of your gray hair is already hard as it is in general, because you're dealing with a group of people that are just, you're going to be the out group. It's going to be harder in general. For all groups, it's going to be harder. Because you're dealing with different cultures, different families, it's fine. But it becomes even 10 times harder when you're Black. And the reason is because Black people are at the bottom of the hierarchy globally. And so when you're going to South America, going to these non-Black countries, right? Number one, you're going to face hurdles just because it's going to be hard in general just dating out. But it's going to be even harder for you because as a Black person, you're going to be viewed as being at the bottom, especially a Black man. So it's going to be hard dating out, and it's going to be even harder because you're Black. Which is why I always said that the only passport bro shit I see that makes sense is the Black countries. If you're going to do passport bros to go overseas, you should really only go to majority Black spaces. I've never understood these Black men saying that you should go to these majority non-Black spaces. Now, if you're doing business, fine. But if you're going overseas for dating and marriage, I don't understand why you're going to date and marry in non-Black space. That makes no sense to me. It's already going to be hard dating out, and being Black is going to make it worse. And of course, all the pastor bros number one now, hey, but that's not true. But guess what? Now, Auston Holleman, all them other, now everyone's coming out and telling the truth. They're all coming out and telling the truth. Right? That, oh, yeah, you know, think about this. Think about what he's saying here, right? As Auston Holleman was going around here preaching all this, you know, go to Colombia, go all that stuff, this is what he was dealing behind closed doors. So he was dealing with all of this racial abuse behind closed doors, but will hop on his panels or hop on his channel talking about South America's the way, Asia's the way. And I guess he got to a point. He got to a point in which it kept happening so much that now he can't keep up the facade anymore. He can't lie anymore. Now he gotta come out and tell the truth. And Game Changers not look. Same thing with BGS and a lot of other dudes in the space have had the same rhetoric. Brother, these Asian women they love black men. Brother, Hispanic women love black men. Brother, European women love black men. Brother, Arab women love black men. Okay. Turns out that's not a truth, is it? So I'm happy Auston is finally telling the truth. But what Auston is not dealing with is that a lot of his followers are in denial. They're hurt. But Auston, you can't be surprised. You have been feeding these black dudes this whole idea that, you know, if they go to these countries overseas, these non-black, they're going to be, you know, loved. And now that you've popped the bubble, of course they're going to be hurt. Here's the reality of the conversation. As a black man, you're always going to have a better chance dealing with your woman. That's across the board. Number one, most people have an in-group preference, meaning that most people are going to prefer their own group first. Whites, Asians, spots. So most women, most men are going to deal with their own group. And they're going to have more success than with their own group. Now, when you date outside of your group, it's hard because you're leaving your group and deal with another group. It's hard already. But it becomes even harder because you're black, because a black person, you're at the bottom of the hierarchy. So in general, right, most people deal with their own group. But when you date out, all of these factors about racial dynamics start coming into play. Then it becomes, okay, which group of men is now better? Because if folks are going to date out, they're going to want to date out with the best option possible. And typically, when these non-black females date out, they don't view black men as being the best option possible, you know, outside of their communities. That's why white men, when they date out, they have options. When you date out, you really don't. Now, if black men rule the world, yeah, black men could easily date out because them being at the top of the hierarchy will make it easier for them to date out. But you have to understand that most people in general have in-group preference. Most people date within their own group. So as a man or as a woman, you'll have a better chance within your own group. But when you date out, then you're going to have to deal with all these obstacles, all these challenges, and all of these power dynamics are going to start coming into play. And if your group of people are viewed as having little power or little status, then yes, you are going to lose the interracial dating game. Charles Irby says, I've never heard BGS Immo say non-black women, but he said other women will choose as a woman. No. BGS Immo has many times insinuated, because once again, I remember I was on a panel and I was arguing with him. He would many times insinuate that black men have better options with non-black. I said, no, that's not true. The reality is, Charles, it's actually harder if you're as a black man dating. It's actually harder for you. There's actually more traps for you. You're actually more in danger, like we saw with Jonathan Major, because those women, once again, you're not a part of the group, right? So if anything goes wrong, their people will side with them. But number two, right? They don't have anything tied to you. I'll break it down to you, right? If you're a black man who dates out, let's deal with this, right? Number one, you're going to have to deal with the fact that her family is not going to fully accept you. Number two, her community is not going to fully accept you. Number three, there's going to be those cultural differences. Number four, when you walk outside, folks are going to send that way. Number five, right? If anything were to happen within your relationship, her community is going to side with her, a.k.a. Jonathan Majors. The moment he had that thing with his white wife, guess what? White people didn't side with him. They sided with the white girl. Okay? So even if you're not in a relationship, even if you date out, and right, you're never going to change the fact that you are not a part of that community, and it's always going to come back to bite you. And if things occur between you and that girl, those differences, you being from different groups of people, is going to show up. That we those are the majors. And 4, you're gonna have, of course, the issues with a biracial kid. So in reality, it's actually more challenging when you date out. That's the problem. Tell the whole truth. And BGS Immo has been going out here like many of those, trying to portray this narrative that it's green. No, it's actually harder on the other side. It's actually more difficult. There's actually more risks on the other side. And now them pastor bros like Auston Holleman are finally coming out in the middle because they are now experiencing it themselves. Let's go ahead.
Housekeeper or some shit. Why are they doing this? So, just data. If you appreciate it, thank you. If you don't appreciate it, I could give 2 shit. But I'm going to keep telling you guys what I'm seeing. That does not mean that none of the chicks in the club would like me. That's not what I said, fool. Because your boy definitely got some action yesterday. I got some action before I went to the club, and I almost got some before I left. But the gay friend cock blocked the women from me and the white guy. I don't know why he did that, but he did do that. These women have pre-expected, like they have these pre-assumed expectations or judgments of what you are like black in Latin America. Because listen, in the United States, yes, the black people are at the bottom of the totem pole. But when we go abroad, the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 that we make on average, wherever the hell, it doesn't really even matter what the exact number is. Whatever that number is multiplied by 5, damn near 6 now when you get to Brazil. If you make $30,000, you multiply that by 6, you can live a $180,000 lifestyle. Don't believe it? I don't give a shit. You don't believe anything. That's why I don't give a damn. But anyway, I'm telling you what it is. It's almost by 6. The Hey Ice is like 5.6 last time I checked last week. So it's not that far, but at the bare minimum it's by 5. So 30 grand is like 150. That's not that much of a different lifestyle from 150 to 180. Let me know if you do see a huge difference by adding $30,000 to your lifestyle in the States. But usually the black men in their society, usually, not always, are, at the bottom. Like they really can't provide. And this is one way that Argentina became whitewashed. Not only did they import a lot of Europeans, but they also sent the blacks to war, where they would be killed first. And then they also stripped the opportunities from the black men. So the women would be forced, because women are going to go with who has the most they can offer financially, right? So if the white men are only options, what do you expect the women to do? And that's why Argentina has less than 1% black population when they had 30% at one point, not too long ago.
He is right about Argentina systemically wiping out its black population, but that's the reason why I've never understood the Pasco Bros obsession with South America. I said, look, how can you advocate for black men going into a continent that, they have an entire history of targeting black? It's probably as bad, if not worse, than the United States. Let's go, right? Menor la raza. They have an entire ideology of trying to admix to progress towards whiteness. That's why it's even worse down there. Yes, in America you have the ones. Yes, you have the. I get that. The Anglos have that, but there people actively mix in order to become white. It's even worse. There's the racial hierarchy, the colorism is 10 times worse down there, and yet somehow these dudes were advocating for black men to go to South America. I've never understood that. But I'm happy he's finally telling the truth. Go ahead.
Less than 100 years ago, well, maybe about 100 years ago. I don't give a fuck what the exact number is. You get my point. So that's not just in Argentina. I think Argentina was probably just the most successful at doing it in Latin America. But Brazil did a similar thing. Uruguay did a similar thing. Brazil imported European.
Yeah, it's not just Argentina. Like, once again, all of these countries have a whole idea of Muhammad Assad and progressing towards whiteness, which is why it never made sense. I never understood these dudes' obsession with going to these, especially South American non-black countries. You think that you're going to go into a society that has actively tried to whitewash its population, actively tried to eliminate its black population, actively tried to put a rigid racial caste system, a rigid colorism that pedestalizes whiteness, and you think that you're going to get a pass? You think you won't receive that energy? Come on, bro. That's delusion. So to Austin, tell the truth. Tell the truth about what really about how these non-black folks really view black people, especially black men. Go ahead.
You think black Brazilians have had the most opportunities? I don't think so. And you'd be a damn fool. When the hell did any white rule? When the hell was there white people that dominated or only were in the government and they let the former slaves that are now liberated have the same equal opportunity? I would love to know that. So that being said, it's
so Austin, why didn't you talk about this before you? Now, this is what kills me, right? Everything he's saying, you can find out with a simple Google search. I understood all of this without ever having to go to South America. Because once again, we're in the information age. You can just search this up. Why? I'm happy with him, but why didn't you talk about this before you went down there? Why did it take you going down in South America, folks forgetting your food, folks, I'm spitting in your face, disrespecting you in your face, for you not to get it? Come on.
In Latin America, it's
see what that tells me is that you actively bought into the Kool-Aid like everybody else, and now that you've come to realize that folks like me were right, you don't know how to deal with it, and so you're slowly trying to walk things back in a way that's beneficial on the best way. Even your audience is angry because they've been fed the Kool-Aid for so long, right? But I guess better late than never. I'm happy that at least you got this wake-up call now instead of 30 years later, being surrounded somewhere by a bunch of mestizos. So I'm happy you got the wake-up call now instead of later on be abused potentially. But I want to, and by the way, typically when I do my live streams, I don't tag about I have a lot of folks. Because all the folks who are having XYZBM, passport bros, and their hashtags, watch this video. Tell the truth. The same way y'all were out here pedestalizing these non-black females, talking about get your passports. The same way y'all were pedestalizing these non-black countries. Great. I want to have the same energy in regards to calling out the BS. All of a sudden now high, none of the truth is coming out. Everything he is saying, I said for years. It's just that now he can't deny anymore. But go ahead.
10 times worse, right? Like black women in the States aren't looking at black men. Well, apparently they say they are, right? But it's not the same as it is. They're not looking at men. They wouldn't look at me and be like, oh, you can't provide. That's not how it's not. When you come down here and you see the difference, you will see what it's like for women in general, but especially the black women in Latin.
What you're essentially saying, what I said once again, all he's saying is that, like so forth, right? It's the racial hierarchy, the colorism, black people being at the bottom is worse down there. I've said it for a long time. That's what he's saying.
America to look, depending on what city you're in too, because there's some cities that I noticed that they don't do this. They'll look at you like, they pre-disqualify you without you. I don't give a damn if you had on a damn dinner jacket. You could have on Donald Trump's suit. I don't give a fuck what the hell you were wearing. Because you were black, you could be disqualified instantly in some cases. Well, not even some, in a lot of cases, depending on where you at in Latin America. Instantly. Especially because the Afro-Latino men look a lot like we do. Like if you see some Brazilians, if they spoke English, you would never know that they were from Brazil. There's a lot of them that look. So I can blend in a lot of cases. I'm tatted up. A lot of Brazilians are tatted up. This is in Portuguese. Like I can really blend in. So the fact that they think usually that I'm one of them, instantly disqualified. Now, if they knew I was American, I don't know. I don't ask. I don't go around telling people I'm a YouTuber or I'm an American unless
Even if look, if they thought you were an American, brother, that will only go so far. Because at the end of the day, like I said before, when it came to that video about I made a previous live stream saying being American means being white. Everybody knows that the United States is a white settler, Anglo-Saxon European project, meaning being a true American is a white person. An American is a white person. Now, you as a Black American, Latino, all the non-whites may benefit because they live in the United States, may have the passports. Hell, as a Black American, you may have been, that's fine. But people are going to perceive that, hey, the United States is a white settler, Anglo-Saxon European project, so a true American is a white person. Your ability to come down here and flex your quote-unquote American passport, American money, is only because of the white people there. That's how it's perceived. That's the reason why a white American and a Black American are not the same. The white American gets the full privileges of being an American. You only get some of it because everybody understands that you essentially are a slave population in the country. And everybody knows that you're at the bottom of the country. So that American shit only goes so far because, once again, you being Black, they already know you're the bottom where you're at. So they may give you a little bit better treatment here and there, but it will never be the same compared to what they'll give a white American because they will view him as a true representation of what the United States is. You just so happen to have the money as a Black American, right? But that white dude, he's a true American. He's a true white blood American. His people actually run the wealth. So Auston, even if they knew you were an American, that would only go so fucking far. That's the whole point. Oh shit, we got Nakamese. Oh Lord, so Nakamese loves tap dancing for white folks. But let's go. So Auston, even if they knew you were American, it wouldn't really matter. Because being an American means being white. A Black person can never be an American. I've said that for a long time. When you go, everybody knows this. It's only Black Americans who are in this denial. No, when people look at America, they view the thing of white people. Black people are viewed as the bottom of the hierarchy. The bottom of the hierarchy. The way people view that, okay, America was founded by the white settlers and Black Americans were just a slave population. That's how you're viewed. That's the reason why, even if you're a Black American and you go overseas, right, you think a little bit of better here and there, but fundamentally, right, you'll still get disrespected. Just like what Auston is saying here. You're still a nigga. You're still a Black person. But a white dude coming over there, he gets the full privilege of being an American. But why? Because everybody knows that America is fundamentally a white settler, Anglo-Saxon, European project. It's a country founded by white people. Those are European descent. And all these Black folks were just the descendants of the slave population. Not me. Watch my previous live stream, Being Americans and White. Black Americans, they want to be American more than American actually wants them. They are desperate to be viewed as fully American, but America tells them, nigga, you are not a full American. Being an American is a white person. In fact, we'll rather put the mestizo, the Hispanic over you. So you have the dynamic where the Black American wants to be an American, but America doesn't accept him as an American. Same thing. So to answer Auston Holleman here, no. Even though you're American, it wouldn't matter as much. Yes, you make a little bit better treatment here and there, but that will only go so far because you being Black would inevitably, matter more over time. You being Black would mean that you would never get the same privileges as a white American going down there. No, Nakamese, you're not. You are the descendant of a slave population. That's all it is. No offense. Everybody knows an American is a white person. That's all it is. That's all it is. No, you're not a priest. The only reason you guys are above is because you live in these superpower nations. If I took every single black American and I dropped them in El Salvador or Cuba, you become like shit. The only reason you have more wealth is because you literally live in a superpower of the world. That's all it is. Everybody knows that. But all the wealth and the power and everything is tied to white people, the white settlers. They're the ones that established America. They're the ones that, yes, they use your labor. That's true. But fundamentally, it was a European project, a European settler society. They're the ones that made America a superpower nation. Yes, with black labor, but they're the ones who did it. You just so happen to be there benefiting by proxy. That's why a true American would always be a white person. That's why as a black American, you have to fight to be an American. Okay? No, that's not easy, right? Haven't you noticed that in America, right? When they refer to white people, they just say American. When they refer to you, they say black American. Right? There is no prefix for white people. They just say American. But when it comes to you, Nakamizi, they say black. What does that mean? They're the true Americans because they are the founders of the settler society. Unfortunately, you're just a descendant of the slave population. You just don't happen to be there. That's it. It is what it is. So to answer Auston Holleman, no, them knowing you in America would not matter because once again, America is a white settler Anglo-Saxon European project. So being American is being white. So that means that you being black will mean that you will never be viewed as a full-blooded American. You may get a little bit better treatment here because you got the American passport, but that will only go so far. But inevitably, at the end of the day, you will never get the full treatment and full benefit as a white American down there. Keep going.
They ask. So there is none of that. And I'm not, you know, we black men, we really are a lost cause, man. I'm not going to go off on y'all too bad because I'm just thinking about some of the comments I get. Fucking fools. So we're presumed to be at the bottom. And for some reason, they don't know.
You are at the bottom. Look, see what he's saying, right? When he goes down there, even though, quote unquote, he's an American, right? The vast majority of the people down there know that as a black American, he's the bottom in the United States. So you're not, in other words, you're not viewed as a full American. They know that a true American, a full American is a white person. Go ahead.
Know how to differentiate that. Sometimes I can see even whenever they know that you are American, they still have been, you can't just, oh, well, he's just different. They think that in our country, because we're at the bottom of the financial total, but they think that.
Yes, you are at the bottom.
The same shit. Now our bottom is their top, but they still don't register that shit.
But that's the point. That doesn't matter, right? The only reason why your bottom is their top is because America is a superpower nation. That's it. But you're still at the bottom. That's the whole point.
Ignorant.
That's why that American passport should only go so far because anybody still knows that, okay, you're still a black nigga though. You're still not white though.
So they don't register that. I want you guys to notice this as well. How many of these non-black women actually want to be seen with you in public?
Uh-oh. These non-black women want to be seen with you niggas in public. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord. Oh, that has to hurt. That has to hurt.
I'm saying this from experience. And I'm not some fat slob with 3 teeth in my fucking mouth with no haircut. Okay? Women do look at me, for example, today, many times today. Women of all races do look at me and I can tell they find me attractive. So it's not that I'm unattractive because I know you fucking sign language men are going to try to say that shit. It's a societal norm for them to feel like they are not with the right option when they are with a black man, depending on where you're at in South.
Because black people are at the bottom globally. That's the reality.
Paulo, whenever I was with white women, I noticed that they didn't care. It seemed like they were very comfortable in public. But there's been a lot of places in Latin America that I've been to, a lot, where I could feel it like, look at how she's looking around. I noticed she doesn't want to hold my hand. But in this city, the white women did want to hold my hand, or the mestizas did want to. You know this shit. You start to, most of you motherfuckers haven't traveled anyway, so I don't expect you to get it. Okay, I've been to Lima, Santiago, Asuncion, Ciudad del Este, Buenos Aires, Montevideo, Sao Paulo, Rio, Salvador, Manaus, his CFA, that's 10, 3 cities in Colombia, that's 13. And I went to number 14 in Bolivia. Okay, so I've been to 14 cities around Latin America. That's why I'm able to make this comparison. You motherfuckers that's only been in 1 or 2 cities, shut the fuck up because you don't know anything. Don't leave a comment on my shit disagreeing if you only been to 1 or 2 cities. You can't base your 1 or 2 city experience around my 14 or 15 cities or whatever the hell I just said. You can't do that. Okay, that's like a guy that's only dated 2 women in his entire life and he's 30 years old trying to tell another 30-year-old that's dated 15 women in his entire life. How the fuck can you tell me anything? You don't know shit compared to me. Paying for pussy anyway. So, let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of you guys will be upset. I really don't give a shit. Let me know what you guys think. For you guys that are enjoying these videos, I love you too. Drop a cash app at $ Auston Holleman if you really enjoyed that and you found it useful. Remember, we are coming out with a course, the blueprint on how I changed my life. I went from a barber dealing with off pH, rude women and a okay lifestyle to living my best life abroad. I'm gonna give you guys a blueprint exactly how I did it, how you can do it. We're gonna talk about remote work, investing money, not in physical assets like real estate, but stocks, crypto, stuff like that that'll grow your money long term. We're gonna talk about that in the course. We're gonna talk about dating. We're gonna talk about adjusting to social societies and norms and building a social circle, everything, expats, and we're gonna have some testimonials in there as well. So be on the lookout for that. It's coming soon. I love you guys. I will see you guys later.
Yep. Of course, look, and once again, look, I have no problem with y'all traveling. Look, if you're traveling, but you notice how now all of a sudden he's doing more business. He's not selling dating anymore. All right? Now that's fine, right? He's changing up a little bit, right? Because before it was, we're gonna go over here and get you a great woman. So if he wants to now pivot to business, that's fine. You know, travel business. That's it. The only reason you should be traveling to non-black countries is blackness of business. That's it. But it should not be because you can go there and get a non-black because that's crazy to me. But let's go to another video. Quick.
It's not white.
Let's go and play this really quickly, fast.
You're not ugly, you're just not white. You see, race is an important factor in dating and it's often overlooked. If you're not a white man, you have to put in a little bit more effort into your appearance and you're overall not going to see the same success that an equally attractive white man would. That's because the world revolves around Eurocentric beauty standards and there's a hierarchy when it comes to race and dating. So if you're not a white man, more than likely you'll have something called niche appeal, meaning that you only appeal to certain.
Now notice, right? This is a completely separate YouTuber, but he made this video a long time ago. But this is what Austin said, right? That typically, if you do have those non-black girls, right, they're like the outliers, the exceptions, right, the niches. But go ahead.
Types of women who are into your certain race due to their upbringing, due to their network, due to their influence in media, and a lot of other reasons. But though everybody has preferences, you'll start to realize the more you improve all areas of your life, you'll start to become everybody's exception. Trust me, I've heard it a million times. I don't normally like black men, but you're different.
Yep. And dudes, and guess what? Dudes take that and they go back and say,
favorite.
Hispanic women love us. Asian women love us. Arab women lovers, Latino women lovers. What? This is where it comes from. It is what it is. It is what it is. What it is. He's either going to put men, but you're always going to have your exceptions, right? You're always, once again, white mental happens. You're always going to have, folks say, we get that. But the reality of the conversation here is that you are always going to have a benefit within your own group. Most people are going to quote unquote deal with their own group first. That's the reality. That's the reality. But I was thinking about opening the panel here for some folks to come in and have some time. I'm not sure I should do it because I don't have that much time left. I'm actually I'm right on the edge. Let's see. Let me just say this, okay? To summarize what we went over today's live stream. Number one, the vast majority of people are going to deal within their own group first. Men and women, that's the reality. Number two, it's only when you date outside of your group, then you start having all these issues and all these obstacles, right? And that gets even harder depending on where your group is rated. So, for example, if you're a white man dating out, because white people at the top, it will be easier for you to date out. But if you're a black man dating out, because black people at the bottom, it will be harder for you to date out. So, as long as you deal with your own group, because of in-group preference, you'll be fine for the most part. But when you start dating out, then you got to start dealing with all these racial power dynamics, which will affect your dating options depending on where your people are rated in regards to their position of power. And so that's why it is crazy to me that black men who are black men are advocating for black men to go to these non-black countries and date out, considering the fact that black people are at the bottom of the hierarchy. What does that mean? Why is that problematic? One, not only is it going to be hard dating out, but because a black person at the bottom of the hierarchy, it's going to be 10 times harder. So I've never understood that. So the reality of the conversation is that as a black man, you're better off as black men and black women, but black people in general are better off dealing with their own group. But the moment in which they date out, then they're going to have to start dealing with all the dynamics that come with race and power. And because black people are at the bottom of the hierarchy, those racial and power dynamics are going to put them at a disadvantage. Now, a white person, because they're at the top of the hierarchy, those racial and power dynamics will come to their favor when they date out, right? And if black people were at the top of the hierarchy, then, if black people were at the top, then those racial and power dynamics will be in our favor when we date out. But overall, the best option is always going to be to deal with your own people because, once again, in-group preference is universal. Most people prefer the old group of people, meaning that if you deal with your own group, you will always have a better chance, a better option. So all of these passport bros, SYSBM, stop selling this fantasy and tell the truth. If you want to go overseas, if you want to travel and go overseas, the best place for you to go is to go to majority black countries. That's it. Anywhere else, if you travel and date out in majority non-black countries, then you're going to start dealing with all the shit that comes with interracial dating. And because you're black, it's going to be even worse for you. So I'm happy that Auston Holleman's found telling the truth. And I tagged everybody in this live stream to make sure the video spreads so everybody can now say, hey, look, if you are out here capable of pastor bros, capable of SYSBM, now you can go out here and now you can know the truth, admit the truth, and tell the truth. It is what it is. What I will do is this though really quickly. I'm going to open the panel for a very short while. Very short. I'm not going to for that long. Because y'all complained that so y'all can come up and essentially give your opinions very small couple of minutes, and then I'll close the panel because I'm really running out of time. So I'll put a link in the chat. For those who want to hop on, I'll give you about 5 minutes to get up here. But if those don't come within that time period, then we're gonna go and just close it down and leave it like that anyway. So, like I said before, you know, if you are dealing with a pastor, bro, if you're doing SYSBM, the best option for you to do is to essentially date out and deal with if you're a passport, bro, or if you're a black man who's trying to date out, no words. If you're a black man and you're trying to go overseas to find women to marry, women to date, all that jazz, the best chance for you to do is to go to majority black countries. Any passport broing to non-black countries, non-black spaces for dating and marriage is going to end horribly for you. That's the reality. That's the reality. Okay, I'll go ahead and whittle. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'll give you about 30 seconds. If nobody clicks the link, then I'm gonna go ahead and just close the live stream. All right, that's 30 seconds. Nobody, that's fine. Okay. I'll go ahead and close live stream. I just do that because folks can play. I'll open the panel. So give y'all a chance to hop on the panel. Nobody came. That's fine. We'll go ahead and close the stream. But before I go off, once again, it is always easier and better for you to deal with within your own group of people. That's the reality. It's always going to be easier and better people. So as black men, you are always going to have a better chance dealing within your own group, right? So that means if you're trying to go overseas to date and to marry, the best place for you to go is to go to majority black countries and deal with black women. If you go to majority non-black countries and deal with non-black women, you're going to have to deal with all the stuff that comes with interracial dating, as well as the fact that you're black. So all the stuff that comes with interracial dating, I deal with that. And on top of that, you being black. So that's what I was saying. Like Auston Holleman said, he even said it still, right? The best place for black men to go if they're trying to date overseas is to majority black countries or especially Africa. That's the reality. And so with that being said, I'll go ahead and leave it there. It seems somebody actually hopped on the panel just in time. Fascinating. You know what? Let me bring him up. Nakamizi, you there? Nakamizi?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yo, okay, bro. Go ahead and say. I have a couple of minutes before I go, so go ahead and say your piece.
I don't agree with you on much, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That's why I don't push this swirling thing. But I'm actually a passport full. You know, a lot of these dudes are selling dreams, and these women, I tell people, especially the guys that go to Thailand, because I've been there so many times, that the black man is tolerated and not celebrated in Thailand. If they could get a weird white boy with a hairy back and 2 teeth in his mouth, they'll pick that over a handsome black man because of the perception that white people run the world, and also the perception that black people are at the bottom. So I'm agreeing with you on this.
Yeah, that's what they're trying. I think for me, look, the issue I have with Auston Holleman is that Auston Holleman was not telling the truth, right? He was not. And think about this. I said, look, dudes like Auston Holleman, they'll face all kinds of racial abuse behind closed doors. Because then they will come and make these videos and it's great over here in these non-black countries. So apparently he is now admitting that as he was facing all this racial abuse, he was coming on his YouTube channel saying all this BS. But it's only now that all of a sudden now he wants to essentially admit the truth that that's so in other words, he was lying the whole time. He was telling the whole truth about when it came to the racial reality out there. And Although I'm angry, he was lying about it. I'm happy that he's telling the truth now. So I guess better late than never. So that's my whole thing. Is that I want to make sure that folks. And by the way, I made those live streams. Okay, I have those streams years ago. Hammer was right. So I'm just happy to like all them folks who were tagging me. They're great. The same we all had all that energy defending Pastor Bros. Have the same energy now. That's my whole thing.
But I met Austin in real life. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, I met him in Thailand, and he's very respectful. You can tell he was raised with manners, so that's something that I did appreciate about him. And then we crossed paths on a live stream when I had to call him out on a lot of the lies that he was saying, because he was being disrespected by some Thai hooker. And I said, you can't talk this pimp thing when you're getting mushed in your face by a Thai hooker. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has no respect for you. But he's trying to put this image out, like with the cigarette or with the cigar smoking, and I'm this and I'm that. But I honestly think he's on the spectrum, you know, and I'm not saying this to make fun of him, but he is definitely not socially acclimated to dealing in a lot of situations, especially with women. So because of how he looks, the women will go to him, but after 10 minutes, they're like, oh, this guy is weird. Notice he said, these chicks didn't want to hold my hand. You're going around the world and you're trying to hold the hands of a prostitute? This is so many things wrong with that. You understand what I'm saying?
Once again, I don't know prostitutes. The point he was trying to make is that when the white dudes were showing up, they would have no problem intermingling with them. It's only when it came to him. And he was talking about how when he would go into restaurants, they will always forget his food, not his white friend's food. What he's speaking to is the fact, I'm sure you've seen this, we'll see, is that in South America, there's a deep racial hierarchy there. Colorism is off the chains down.
Right.
And he was simply experiencing that it doesn't matter what you do. You being a black dude is going to just, that's going to be a no-no. Now, of course, you have your exceptions, like you said, the niches, right? But that will only go so far. But
it's not only that, though. I'm sorry,
go ahead.
Go on.
No,
it's not only that, because I'm well traveled as well. I'm not a passport bro, but I get treated very well internationally. You know, and I know you will push back on this, but there is a level of Black American privilege.
Oh my! Here it comes.
Yep. Oh, hey, Hammer, we're doing well. We've been doing well, brother. Let's continue.
You know what?
Can I finish? Can I finish though?
Yeah.
Let me finish, brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is a level of Black American privilege, okay? In Thailand specifically, right? When they see Africans, especially Nigerians, they think drug dealer. Or if it's a West African male, they're gonna think football player. When they see Black Americans, they think hip hop, right? They have these stereotypes, right? And we tend to be at the top of the popular, cool Black guy. And I don't embrace that. I had to actually check a couple of people trying to sell me suits. This guy was like, yo, man, I'll sell you a Steve Harvey suit, man. Yo, brother. I'm like, why the hell are you talking to me like that? But when you talk to the white guy, it's like, excuse me, sir, I can make an Armani suit. So I get you, but there is a level of Black American privilege. However, I will agree with you that globally, Black people are at the bottom from an image standpoint. They all look at us like we ain't shit. And that can translate to certain treatment. I'm not hypersensitive to it, but I am aware, but I haven't had it happen to me to the point where I said, hey, matter of fact, if it wasn't from Thai people, it was from people from Nepal and other expats, like white British people who bring their racism to Asia.
Well, look, at the end of the day, you're the exception. But the reality comes that the vast majority of Black folks who go, and and I'm actually happy because I was just going to talk about this with you, right? Because the real conversation we're talking about is the Americanness of Black Americans. And I'm happy you brought this up because the previous live stream I made, I believe, was about how being American means being white. So I'm happy we got actually the conversation. My conversation, the point I'm making, I've made before, is that Black Americans, they want to be American more than America wants them to be. And what I mean by you have this sort of weird dynamic where Black Americans just go out of the way, fight like hell to be accepted as fully American in the country, and the society tells them, nigga, you'll never be fully American. We'll put all these groups over you. And although when they go overseas, they make a little better trip because of the money, that only goes so far because fundamentally, everybody still knows that being an American is being white.
No, I totally disagree.
I
As a real
disagree.
American, not an American immigrant like you, sir.
I
don't.
You know what?
I don't. Brother, can I finish? Come on, you're an African. I'm older than you. You're supposed to show me some sort of respect as an elder, right? Look, you have a victim mindset where you think that all Black Americans are walking around like singing "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot," like, oh, the white man ain't gonna accept me, and now we don't care about none of that shit. We are American. Oh, absolutely, we are American. We were formed in this kettle, in this pressure cooker called America, under duress from slavery, and we are here, and we're not going anywhere until we want to. You see, so to be a Black American is to take a stance of defiance, revolution, right? Yeah, but wait. So we don't do it because we were trying to be accepted by the white man. We do it in spite of the white man. We know that we are a thorn in his side, and we're gonna stay a thorn in his side. We don't care in daily life. We don't think about white people. Africans like you think about white people more than we do.
Now, it's actually funny you would say that because one of the main criticism I hear from the FBA ADOS community is that Black Africans don't talk enough about white people. That Black African immigrants don't talk about white supremacy. It's actually the opposite I hear from Tariq Nasheed and the FBA ADOS movement. They're the ones who talk all the time. Isn't that what the reparations movement is about? Which I support, by the way, that Black Americans have been undermined and marginalized for so long that it deserves reparations?
Oh, absolutely. And we do deserve it. And we have been marginalized. But in this marginalization, we created a standing and an attitude of defiance. And we say, we're not going anywhere. You brought us here against our will, but now we're here, and you got to pay us for what our ancestors did.
And once again, I'm happy you brought it. The reparations argument is so funny, right? Because once again, be very clear. I support reparations, but
thank you.
The point is that the dynamic I'm seeing kind of represents what I'm talking about, right? Is that let's look, for example, what happened in Oklahoma, when you had actual living survivors. The Tulsa Massacre, suing. And they're saying, no, you don't appreciate it. So if they can look in the face of an actual survivor and say no, there is no better way for the country to tell you as a Black American that you're not really American. There's no one who's saying that. Because they'll give reparations to the groups.
They're not saying that you're not a real American.
That's
not what they're saying. Wait, hold on. But real Americans, let's talk about what a real American is, right?
Yeah,
real Americans get. Wait, no. A real American is a Native American. Okay, you know this. You're a smart guy. Everybody else is.
You know what I'm talking about when I say real American.
Brother,
I'm talking about within the settler state.
I'm basically going off of the facts. The only indigenous people to America are the Indians. They getting screwed over worse than Black people.
Now, why?
Correct or incorrect?
Yes, the native population.
They got fucked out. They got fucked out of their land. They have the highest suicide rates of people in America. They've been relegated to. You know it. You're a smart guy. So
yes, but
the
why?
American, the white Americans are fucked over the true Americans, right? But Black Americans, we're there. Obviously, we're not even supposed to have survived, right? We are a reminder of the nasty thing of slavery, and we became essentially a burden, to these white people that yapped America from the Native Americans. but that doesn't mean that we're not American. So that's not a thing at this point. Because wait, hold on, I'm gonna land my plane right now. You know, when we were considered, what was it, 2/3 of a human? Yeah, then you'd have an argument that those days are long gone. But there is still a stink and an aftertaste of this nonsense and this racism. But that's not going to scare us, and it's not going to shake us from claiming our birthright, which is America.
Now, let me say very clear, right? We all know that Native Americans, we get that, right? But they got erased.
Wait, say that again?
We know that Native Americans are the indigenous people, the first people, the first ones to get it. But they got erased.
Absolutely.
The point I'm making here is that this settler society, once again, you live in a settler society. This settler society that was established by European settlers dictates that to be an American within this settler society is to be white. That is completely separate compared to whether or not they're native or not. That's a different conversation.
Wait, but where does it say that for now? Where right now in 2024, where does it say you have to be white to be American?
It is not written anywhere, but it is understood.
Oh, cooked. You got cooked like Jollof by the first time I clicked your link. Look at this, Hammer.
Question. Do you think that you have to write on a piece of paper that in America the privileges is the white people? What are you talking about?
What privilege? What privileges do white people have that I don't have? Tell me.
They have more wealth than you. They have more.
No. The wealth is economic status. What privileges do white people have that I don't have? Because I have millionaires in my family, and I make more money than many white people.
So, everybody knows that a white person has easier access to capital. It's easier for them to get investments. It's easier for It's easier for them to get away when it comes to crime. It's easier for them to run for office. What are you talking about? So
wait, hold on. Your victimhood is showing, sir. Your victimhood is showing. If you
are you serious?
Stop acting like a victim, sir.
So we're gonna sit here and pretend as if white people don't have the unanimous privilege in this country. That's not what we're doing.
Privilege? Wait, look. I don't call it white privilege. I call it privilege. Listen, brother. Why are you getting so triggered?
Because the gaslighting is insane, man. You're really saying that black Americans who are at the bottom of every metric. And you're talking about
at the bottom, but we're not at the bottom in every metric, sir.
You're not at the bottom.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And I'll tell you how. We already established that the Native Americans got screwed over the worst. The Native Americans are at the bottom, sir. And then comes the Hispanics. They're essentially lower than us on every single metric. Then it's Black Americans, and then it's white Americans, and at the top, it's Asian.
Wait a minute. Hispanic, and I believe Latinos have already surpassed you guys both in demographic.
Absolutely. That's what I literally just said. No, not Latinos. It's whites and then Asians. Asians are at the top. Asians are at the top in America.
I'm talking about power and resources. What I'm saying is that when it comes
to power and resources,
they have already surpassed
Asians are at the
demographics and in overall economic prowess. They already have in many ways. That's the reason why Black Americans in Chicago are losing their minds over these migrants, because they know what's going to happen. They'll come in there, form their little cliques, and push y'all out. What are you talking about?
Well, what I'm talking about is exactly what I said. You said that we were at the bottom, and I just proved that we're not. And you can Google it.
You are
Native Americans are not even.
The only people you can make an argument is below Black Americans for real is Native Americans, and even that
Native and Hispanics. Native and Hispanics.
So I would say they're already above you in many ways.
Why don't you Google it then? If you don't believe the real Black American, you're an immigrant.
The real Black American.
You're a guest.
They not only have a larger population than you, but I think economically they have more schooling.
You can't school a real American from the place of fresh off the boat, green card American.
Bro, dude, this is crazy.
when Trump comes back in power, your ass is gone.
You go to a place like California where it's the majority Latino, them Latinos are washing you niggas away. You look at these Latinos can come here and get debit cards, money. But
you not only Latinos that can do that. The Chinese are doing it.
Just stepping on this in this country.
Brother, you have to when we get off the stream, because I know you won't do it now. You don't want to get cooked live on your own show. When you get off the stream, when you take a breath, then you can look at the demographics. You can look at education rates. You can look at graduation. You can look at how much we make. The Latinos are below us.
Last I checked, don't Hispanics have a higher household income than Black Americans and Blacks in general? Blacks include Black immigrants, so I say Black Americans.
No, I don't include those. I don't include the clearance rack Blacks. I'm talking about the premium
If I exclude them, then I believe that if it's just Black America, exclude the Black
that's I'm not here representing you guys. I'm not representing you guys. We're putting the gates up. We're delineating.
But if you exclude them from the Black demographic, what you see is that if it's just Black America, you actually do worse.
No, we do better because we're not bogged down with all your
Black immigrants from the Black demographic. The number shrinks, and the number shrinks. Because let's go. The number shrinks.
The number shrinks,
and the economic prowess
goes up. You don't have any economic prowess.
Dude, let's not even get into this, bro.
No, let's get into it.
We already know that when a lot of Black immigrants who come here get the good of that. That's what asked for that number.
No, Cameroon, where are you from, sir? Aren't you from Cameroon?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about your people. What's your ethnic group? Are you Awe?
I want you to pay attention to what he's doing, right? Because he doesn't want to address what I'm saying, which is that Black Americans are at the bottom of the hierarchy. The only
you're at the bottom of the hierarchy. Your people aren't doing shit in America, bro. Your people are literally doing nothing in America.
The only people in this country that they have a little bit advantage over is Native Americans. But guess what? Even Native Americans they have treaties.
They're not even.
They have reservations. So even Native Americans can make an argument about y'all.
Who are your people, sir? Who are your people? You don't want to talk about your people.
Yeah.
Your people are doing jack shit in America. You're doing nothing here.
Mac Beasy, can you admit this what I'm talking about. This is what the whole FBA ADOS thing is about. Is that a lot of these niggas in the whole FBA ADOS, they just don't.
Whoa. Why are you getting racial? Why are you getting racial, sir? Why are you getting racial?
The vast majority of Black Americans, that are within ADOS and FBA movements. What's really dry? That means proven, right? Is that they're the stuck between a rock and a hard place. One, they want to be American. They like the whites.
No, we are American. and no dusty Cameroonian is gonna separate me from my country.
You can get triggered all you want to. That's the reality. They want to be American, but America, the American society, is never gonna view them as fully American. That's the issue of facing with.
Viewing and being are two.
Contribute. It doesn't matter what they built and didn't build. It doesn't matter what they invest. They will never be viewed as a true American. And that's
let me ask you a question. Which group are you talking about?
Black Americans.
No, which group doesn't view us as American?
White people will never view as American because they're American.
So are you including Jews into the white pool? Are you including Irish into the white pool? Are you including
all of those Eastern people?
Wait. Are you including Eastern European immigrants? Are you including Italians who just got grandfathered into whiteness in the 19th century?
Yes, because
who gives a damn what they think about it?
They were
who cares what they think? You value whiteness. You value whiteness as an African. You value whiteness as an African. I don't give a shit about whiteness. You're just putting. You're arguing. Looking at your big white Jesus on the wall. You're looking at your big white Jesus on the wall. I'm gonna cook this nigga. No, it's not gonna happen, bro.
Okay.
White people don't define me. We don't live our lives trying to impress white people, bro.
Brother,
come on,
you can
Hammer,
get triggered
Hammer.
all you want.
When I'm done with you, brother, you're gonna
being
be a proud
American
black
means
African, bro.
being white in this country.
No.
Irregardless of how black Americans feel, or Asians, or Hispanic, that's the reality.
No, sorry.
You cry about it, roll about it, attack black immigrants, that's great. Guess what? You're still a nigga.
I attack all
You're
immigrants. I don't want none of yous here. I don't want none of yous in my country.
But you hold on, you know what? You have everybody there, but you know what? Guess what? As long as I can get white folks let me stay here, you can do anything about it.
Yeah, but there's a white man coming in the country now, Donald Trump, who's going to get your black ass out.
To a point, right?
He's going to get your black ass out.
No, if I was in Nigeria, if a black person said, I want you out, okay, they can actually get me out. But in this country, as long as the white people say these immigrants can stay here, that's not going nowhere.
You realize that there are black Americans. You realize that there are black Americans in the government of America, right? The black Americans, black American lawmakers.
Hold on. That in the United States, who is the true American then? Who actually makes decisions?
Look at my avatar, bro. I'm the true American. I'm the true American. I'm the king of the blacks. My people are the kings.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a true American.
But you gotta beg for resources. You're a true American.
We're not begging for anything.
Slaughtered by law enforcement.
We're not begging.
Slaughtered.
Wait, hold on.
You're a true American, but Latinos are given credit cards. You're a true American,
hold on. Let me finish.
But all these other groups can. But you're a true American. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm a true American. And number one, let me chop down all these points one by one. I can remember we're getting slaughtered by police.
Yeah.
Can you put the numbers to that? Because 2022 was only 223 unarmed black people killed by police. Wait, 223 out of 35 million
black Americans do not get a worse treatment by law enforcement, that they are not targeted.
I'm talking about slaughter. I'm talking about slaughter, sir.
Yes.
You said slaughter. Don't play African soccer with me and change the goalposts, Mbute.
When I come on now, what I'm trying to say is that they are
slaughter is slaughter. Slaughter is what you guys do to goats on a Friday night before your Jollof Jamboree. That's what happens. We're not getting slaughtered. You know who's getting slaughtered? Cameroonians are getting slaughtered. Cameroonians are getting slaughtered and eaten in the jungles. That's who's getting slaughtered. Your cops in Cameroon are killing you guys. And they're yelling at you in French. It's
been fun. And look, I'm gonna put a link in the chat for folks who want to hop in.
Now you're running. Run like a fleeing African that you are.
It's folks who want to hop on.
Yes, you're fleeing. I always make you African. Flee and run. Flee, tether. No, I had fun. It was fun.
Here's the reality, right? I have a question for you. And I'm seeing with the whole FBA ADOS thing. Why are black Americans so in denial about the position? Where does this come from? Please explain.
About what?
I don't understand it. You know what I'm talking about.
What, sir?
They're in denial about the true position of the country. And when you talk about it, they all of a sudden want to. Now, it's funny because when the white folks, they bring it up. But when we sit and get mad. Why are you guys so in denial about the fact that you're at the bottom of the hierarchy and you're not true American? Why?
Because we're not. We're not.
But
I told you to Google it, bro. You want us to be part of your marriage of misery because you're the dusty black that just got here. Yeah, we're not. We're divorcing from you, FBB.
What does that
foreign-born blacks? You're an FBB.
I need you to break this down. What do you mean by
you are an FBB, sir? Foreign-born black. FBBs and FBAs are divorcing.
But what does that mean?
We want no parts of your marriage of misery.
Hold up.
We don't want to be with you guys.
What does
We
that
don't
mean?
want to be with you guys. Pan-Africanism
What
is
does
dead.
that mean?
We're separating, we're delineating. We don't want anything to do with you foreign-born blacks. Nothing.
Right.
You're
So
not going to
what does
drag
that
our numbers
mean?
down with
So,
your
hold on, now,
low incomes.
Yo, I want you guys to pay attention because everything you're seeing from Nakmeezy, I said you're seeing
They
the
can't
same
save
behavior,
you.
the same denial, the not wanting to be African. You're seeing it. Pay attention. So Nakmeezy.
No, wait. What do you mean? I'm not African.
That you do not want to be associated with African.
Right. Absolutely not. I when I even say that shit, I get chills in my spine. I'm not an African.
So
I'm of
you do
African
not want to be
descent.
associated.
Wait, hold on, brother.
with
Listen. I'm not African. I'm of African descent. We are the remix of the original and the remix that came out better. You guys are jealous that our ancestors got shipped off and you thought that we weren't going to survive. We were the true survivors and we came out on top. We started from the bottom. Now we're here. Y'all niggas is coming. Johnny come lately. And you're getting, we're running circles around you. I mean, look, if you were Nigerian, you'd have some, if you were a Nigerian, you'd have some firepower, but you're not even Nigerian. You're their dusty neighbor across the border that is literally in Africa. Y'all don't make no noise. Y'all don't make no noise in Africa unless it's about soccer. Y'all don't make no noise.
You understand the irony of you as a Black American, where we're seeing videos of Latinos flooding your neighborhood, but you talking about how you quote unquote
Wait, flooding our neighborhoods? Where?
Chicago. Look what happened in Chicago. They're literally every other day in the assembly hall crying to Brandon about how we're being pushed out. This is what Black Americans were saying, not me. They're saying this.
Wait, listen. You know who's pushing us out? It's all these immigrants, and it ain't just Hispanics. It's Africans too, bro. You know how many Africans are in Chicago? You know how many Chinese people are walking across the border?
You know very well the vast majority, overwhelming majority of the migrants that are being brought in Chicago and these neighborhoods.
Yes, I will agree with you.
Let's keep it real.
But it's not
They're not
only
flooding the country of Black. That's not what's happening.
I want to start kicking all of you guys out, but I want to start with the Africans first.
Okay, that's great. That's fine.
And go back to your homeland. Can you go back to your homeland, sir?
That's fine. And guess what?
Why don't you want to go back home? Why don't you want to go back home?
And guess what? As long as them white folks say that they can stay here, nothing you can do about it.
Why are you hanging on to the white man's nuts? Why are you hanging on to the white man's nuts? You're this great Cameroonian African.
I'm trying to prove a point to you that everything
is your point that Africa is a shithole? Is that your point?
The point I'm trying to say, the point I'm trying to make is that all this rhetoric about how American you guys are is all just rhetoric. Because at the end of the day,
I'm American,
when the rubber meets the road, we know who has the power in this country, and it's not you guys. Nobody is running to Black Americans for a reason. Everybody is going to the whites.
Look at this, man. Look at this. Okay? I was born with one of these, bro.
And what does that
golden eagle on it? You wish you could have one of these.
Not. And guess what? You're still nothing more than a nigger in this country.
Thank you. Whoa. Hey, man. Hey.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. So fly.
Why you gotta use the hard R, bro? Why you gotta use the hard R?
Because I'm trying to make a point. That's how they view you as a group. So you flying the American flag,
the white man.
It's dumb to me. Great. You can fly. They will hang you with that flag. You know that.
No. Those days. You see, the thing is,
those days are over.
The Second Amendment. There's this thing called the Second Amendment, right? And we will send these crackers. We will send these crackers from where they came if they want to try that shit. You see? Good. That's the truth. You know how many black gun clubs?
You still got hate crimes. Once again, the vast majority of hate crimes in this country are towards Black Americans. What are you talking about? You're still the main recipients. That's the reason why Black Americans are asking for an anti-Black hate crime bill. But guess what? The Asians get it, but not you. Even though you're not recipients. Nothing.
And you know what? You know what our hate crime bill is? Our hate crime bill is the Second Amendment. Our hate crime bill
that white people don't know what to do with. That's all it is.
No, wait, but here's the thing, brother, and please let me finish this. Let me get this out. Here's the thing: you're heavily reliant on white people as an African. I get it. You guys
because America is a white
brother.
Country.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Go ahead.
You see, Black Americans, we innovate. We take the pig guts and we turn them into chitlins and hog mogs. We take shit and turn it into shine. You see what I'm saying? So we're not really dependent on these crackers to do for us, but we will make loopholes. Wait, hold on. We will make do with the loopholes that we can make in their laws. So yeah, they ain't gonna make a black hate crime bill, but then there's the Second Amendment, power tools. Like we're not saying, oh, protect us, white man. That's what you are on that. White people matter to you more than they matter to us. And so you won't let me finish. You won't let me finish. You're acting like the white man right now. You're trying to silence my black voice. Hammer, I gotta go. It was nice.
Oh, now
next time
go.
We talk. Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah,
but next time I want, because you called me a coon. Right? You called me a coon. You said I defend white people.
Yeah, because you're white guy, but also because you're in denial about your reality. That's funny. And
my reality, you want me to accept victimhood.
You don't want to be.
You want me to accept victimhood. You want me to accept victimhood.
All that is. Just because
you're the lowly African, not me.
Stream, that you're
the lowly African, brother, not me. You're the lowly African. I'm not lowly.
Not me.
I don't have to hang my head in shame when I say where I'm from.
Are you an African? Are you an African?
No.
Okay, that's it. That's fine. Go.
I'm of African descent. Okay, how about that?
Do you identify with Africa?
I understand that that's where my forefathers came from. White Americans identify with Europe all the time. They call themselves. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
And guess what? Europe does not identify with them. I'll tell you that.
That's fine, but they do. That's the reason why they have NATO. That's why white Americans go out of the way to defend Europeans. What are you talking about?
No. Well, they'll go out their way to defend them. Europeans look at white Americans. Europeans look at white Americans as a separate white group. They don't look at the people that went to South Africa.
But when it comes to white Americans,
come on, man.
When it comes to white Americans,
all right, Hammer, you don't want to talk. You just want to yell at me. I'm tired of speaking over your tribal scream. I don't have the energy to go over your tribal scream.
They identify with the continent so much that they literally have military bases there to defend the other Europeans. That's how
I can't do this, Hammer. Your tribal screams are too much for me. When you want to have a civil conversation and not eat with your bare hands, then invite me back to the cookout.
The delusion is insane. If I'm like, let's keep it real.
You're delusional.
No, it's insane. I mean, it's funny, but you can go though. It's fine. I got you to admit the reality. Like you don't. Well, you don't. I
didn't agree with anything with you outside.
You don't identify with the African continent. That's fine, right? No,
wait. You didn't let me finish that. You see?
Okay, finish it then.
You asked me if I was an African. I am not an African.
I said, do you identify with the African continent?
Well, that's a very broad term. What do you mean identify? I guess you could say I identify because I acknowledge and embrace.
That's not what I'm saying.
Right. Wait. Listen. You can't. I'm used to dealing with people that try to talk over me. Just brother, I want to have a conversation back and forth. You asked me if I identify. That's very broad. I acknowledge, right, my African, West and Central African specifically, ancestry. Okay, I am no longer those people. For me to say that I am an African and to identify with the continent is actually disrespectful to the diversity of the people on the continent. Africa is a continent, not a country, not a region. So you could say you're Cameroon and then you can name your ethnic group. That's who you are. I am a foundational Black American, very proud of it, of African descent, but I am no longer those people. But shout out to my ancestors that went through what they went through, which is why we
Now,
even have a claim for reparations. Yes.
thank you. Now, this is where it gets important, right? Do you think that everybody else views you as not being one of those people?
You know, I don't
This is
give a
what,
shit about
see,
what they.
this
I
is
don't
where the
care.
it all gets the reality, right? You can
No,
say
wait,
that all you want
wait.
to.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again, brother.
Now, do you think that non-Black people do not view you as being part of those people?
What, African?
Yes, those same good people.
I would. I
Do you think when Brad looks at you,
come on, bro,
he
you asked me a
separates
question
you from?
and then you're trying to steer my answer, sir.
No, I'm okay. Answer the question.
No, you asked me the question and then you try to steer me. I'm not a cattle, and you're not the Fulani
trying to
herd.
say it again in case you don't understand. But I can say it again if you understand.
No, I understand it. I understand your point.
Okay, answer the question.
Well.
Answer it.
Well,
answer
I'm
it.
trying to, but you're trying to steer me. Number one, I'll start with this. I don't give a F what people try to identify me as. I'm a Black American. Period. Point blank. Now, check this out. Do non-Black people understand that Black people in America, Black Americans, FBA, are descendants of enslaved Africans? Absolutely, they understand that. But what they understand and what they view means nothing to me, because we stand 10 toes down on our own shit. Yes. I'm the quintessential rebellious Negro. We don't give a fuck about what these other people think. You guys care about image and how the white people see you. We don't care. White people looked at us as trash and as remnants that they still don't like us, and they look down at us as trash. I don't give a fuck what they think. Excuse my language. I don't care.
I thought you were a full American, though.
I am a full American.
But you're being looked down upon, right? Go ahead.
Wait, no. And I look down on them too. You see, that's how humanity works. Humans look down on each other. Wait, hold on. Humans look down on each other, sir. Fat girls get looked down on by the skinny girls. The dark-skinned guys get looked down on by the light-skinned guys. The tall guys look down on the short guys. That's human nature, sir.
Not music, not policy. Do you
You're trying to get me to accept a victim narrative, sir. I'm not your Black victim. I'm a survivor. I'm a winner. I come from good stock. We are the premium Blacks of the world.
You can only look down on someone if you have a sense of a superior to them. They can look down on you because they know they have a higher position than you. You can never look down on them.
But they don't, though. But they don't. And I do look down on them. I look down on their
they don't have a higher position.
Wait. I look down on their recessive genes. I look down on their savagery. I look down on their lack of empathy, their lack of humanity. I look down. Wait, hold on. I'm telling you what I look down on. I look down on the fact that they don't bathe like we do. I look down on the fact that they created all these wars on the planet. And look at you. You're getting offended because I'm reading the white man his rights. No. I look down on them. Wait, hold on, brother. Hold on. Listen. I look down on. Listen. I look down on the white people, especially the white women at work that I just spoke with today, who taught her daughter how to give a blowjob. Her daughter's 16 years old. I look down on this woman whose daughter comes home drunk or doesn't come home and who she smokes weed with her daughter. I look down on that. I look down on my white friend named Jason from California who punched his mom in the nose and broke her shit. I look down on that savagery. You understand what I'm saying? I know that my people, we Black Americans and Black people worldwide, are wired into humanity. We are the best of the best, and we go through what we go through because we can handle it. Yes. Okay. So I do look down on them.
That means I'm supposed because I have to go.
Yeah, exactly. Now you gotta sleep.
No, it has nothing to do. It's just once again, I feel sad for you, man. I mean, just the denial is insane.
Why are you feeling sad for me?
The denial is insane, right? Like you're talking about how you're full-blooded American, but you're asking why you're full. You have to beg the white
anything.
society
I'm not
to
asking
give
for
you
anything.
stuff, but you're on an equal playing field.
I'm not asking white people, right? We're
That's
talking
what
to the
interests.
government and wait, listen, sir, listen. We're rallying the governments, state governments, and
Not me.
the
Are
federal
you serious
government
right now?
for a debt
Who
for a debt that's due.
controls the government?
Yo, bro,
Who
listen.
created the U.S. government?
You're trying to talk over me. Listen, you're
I'm
not
responding to
genetically
what you're
wired.
saying.
You're
Who
not
created the U.S. government?
genetically wired to compete with a strong, proud Black American. You're not. Your docility levels are too
Who
high to be
created
able to
the
talk
U.S.
over me,
government?
sir.
He wants to play it up. Great. So who established? And by
Wait,
the way, right? Okay, the government. Who established this white settler Anglo-Saxon European project called the United States? Who created it? Who
white people
established
descended from
state?
Europe. Okay, but wait, there's more.
Oh,
Wait,
when
there's more.
the
Wait,
government, who are
there's
you really
more.
asking,
Wait,
Meezy?
there's more. There's more. That's a pigeonhole question, sir. I'm smart, and it's a loaded question.
A
Now,
loaded,
I'm all for
it's
loaded
very simple.
questions,
So
sir.
that's the answer.
Yeah. Wait. Now let me ask you a question, sir. Is there not Black American representation in every form of government in America?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Now, is there Asian American representation there?
Yes, there is.
Hispanic, yes. Okay, I get it. So what would that
But
make
none
the
of that
American
changes the
government?
fact that
It would
it's
make the
funded.
American government
They
a
don't buy white people for white
multi-racial
people.
government. It's a coalition of the willing. It's a rainbow coalition, if you will.
A rainbow.
With
Yo, this is. You know what?
You know, I'm trolling
Matt
you.
Meezy,
I'm trolling you
Matt
on that
Meezy,
one. You know
hold
that.
on. I just made a video about Black South Africans, and the guy said, I'm making another video about how I'm seeing a similarity between Black South Africans and Black Americans, and how both of them have this. No, it's like this gap, this delusion they live in about their proximity to white. It's like they really believe that their proximity to whiteness changed the fact that they're not white. Black Africans believe that because they live in a system that was built by white citizens, somehow that extends to them. Black Americans believe that because they live in a white society, that extends to them. And they get so they start to identify with it. It's almost funny. But they will complain.
Wait, but why did you move to America to be under the white thumb?
Those same white folks say, nigga, you're not one of us. But I'm gonna make a video about it.
Why did you move to America to be amongst the white men then? If you're not even pro-Black. I don't know what you are.
I am pro-Black, pro-Pan-African, but I'm also a realist. I understand that I live in a white settler Anglo-Saxon European project. Which means
but you chose to come here. You chose to come, okay. So why would a self-respecting Pan-African with no lineal ties to the white man's country come to live here and then try to shake your dusty finger at a real, true living American? How can you do that, Hammer?
Work an opportunity by factory companies, right? But at the same time, I'm not delusional situation. I'm not telling myself lies. See, look.
So what is your situation? Are you a nigga too?
I understand that in a society, I am under the Black classification, and so because
do white people look down on you as well?
White people look down on the one who's not. But we're talking about. I understand that Black people in this country are at the bottom of the hierarchy. And as somebody who's a Black African, I'm a part of that category. That's the reality. But number two.
Okay, so you're not a special Negro. You're just a all victims matter type of Negro. I got you.
I'm like, dude, the classification is like Black means anyone of Black African descent. That's not complicated. You're from Nigeria.
No, it's not.
No, that's fine. You come here, you're Black. That's the reality. Because you're Black African descent.
How old are you, sir? Well, are you in your 20s or your 30s?
I about would say mid-20s.
Oh, well, just say what come on, man. I'm not gonna fucking dox you or anything. I get
Mid-20s.
nothing out of it. Your credit is probably shit, and you probably live in the projects. All right, so you're still young, brother. I'm going to look. You need to subscribe to my channel, number one, and then we'll have conversations, brother. I'm gonna make you be proud to be black, and I'm gonna make you understand that you are not a.
How can you make me to be proud to be black when you literally are ashamed to be associated with Africa? I'm like, it's weird to me. I wear my African identity proudly on my chest. I don't hide it.
Excuse me?
How can you say that you're gonna? How could you teach? How can you tell me that you're gonna quote unquote show me how to be proud to be black when you're literally ashamed of being African? What are you talking about?
No, I'm not ashamed. I'm just not African, bro.
I'm
not an Olmec brother. Listen.
I put that above.
I'm not an Olmec head.
I'm African first.
I'm not an Olmec head. I don't think that I'm a Native American. Okay, I don't think none of that bullshit, right? I'm a Black American of African descent.
You may not
you want me to wear fucking a dashiki and all this other shit. You want me to wear a dashiki, sing overtune, all this other shit. I'm
proud to be African. I don't hide it.
You're proud to be African. I'm proud to be black.
That thing, once again, it's not just good, right? Black people are essentially the native population in Africa. So yeah, it's one the same. But
it's not
proud of being black, meaning you're proud of being black in entirety, meaning you're
not like
everything. Wearing that,
you're not like us.
Well, you're right. I'm definitely not like the quote unquote Black Americans who are in denial. You're right.
Exactly. Yeah.
The ones who want to be in denial, who want to be delusional, that's great. I'm not y'all. Those who want to hug the flag.
Did you enjoy our conversation? You're millennial.
But with that being said, I think that's about it. I have to go. We'll close off there. But do you have any last thoughts?
Uber Eats calls.
Not really. That's what I gotta do. But look, I just graduated my undergraduate in computer science, so I'm not doing Uber. But any last call? Any last thoughts?
No, sir. I appreciate your time. We went a little bit over. I didn't know you even made content, but I subscribed, so I'll be back to give you a dose of reality and some pushback on your Pan-African views and to breathe black pride into this lowly African.
No. What you push is Black American, is this Black American desire to be American. That's all it is. That's what they call Black pride. Right?
It's
true Black pride is being
American.
Your African heritage and be proud of it. That's what it means.
Fuck that African shit, bro.
Now, okay, that's great. So don't say it's about Black pride. Just say you want to be American.
Yeah, Black pride, because you just said and you admit that in America you're Black. I want you to be proud to be.
I'm classified as Black.
A Black immigrant. You just got to put the word immigrant.
I understand that. All right. But see, I'm not trying. I am not chasing to be American. I am not desperate to be a citizen American. That's the Black American thing. I understand.
Wait, are you a citizen or not? You're not?
I am a U.S. citizen.
No, you're not. You're lying.
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna build that wall, buddy.
That you can move on. What's the look? I understand that I can be a U.S. citizen by the end of the day. That doesn't change the fact that I am still in a white society. It's like getting citizenship in Japan. Yeah, you may be a Japanese citizen, but you're not Japanese. You're not truly put aside. I may be an American citizen, but I'm not fully American. Being an American is white.
Do you know my people were in America before it was called America?
That doesn't mean anything. I've said it before.
It means everything, sir. I have lineage to America, sir. Like you have lineage to Africa.
Now,
direct lineage. I have direct lineage.
Notice how he says he has lineage to America.
I have direct
but
lineage
ignores the
to
fact
America,
that
sir.
Black American slaves originally came from Africa, right? He doesn't say I have lineage to Africa. He's not going to America.
No, I said direct.
The mentality here.
It's direct. Direct. I don't have.
He
do I have a direct? Okay, let me ask you a question. Do I have a direct lineage? Do I have a direct lineage to Africa, sir? Do I have a direct lineage to Africa?
I wish you
Thank you,
luck
sir.
on your journey of being American. And I hope
Well,
you're
I'm
fully
already American, bro. I don't have to.
I wish you luck. And I hope someday white folks will accept y'all fully American so you guys can stop being denied. That's great. All right?
All right, brother.
Now,
I'm
with that
American.
being said,
I like to close the show out, sir. Can I close your show out?
I'll close. You can give the last one, and I'll close it out. That's my show.
Okay. All right. Oh, say, can you see?
Okay, that's it. All right, y'all. I'll go ahead and drop now. Thank you, Nagmizi, for coming on. I appreciate that. He came onto the panel. We had a conversation. That's great. But that's it for guys. If you know, it all ties to place, right? Number one, Black people at the bottom of the hierarchy. So what that essentially means that is, first of all, number one, most people are going to deal with their own group in general, and number two, dating out is hard. So number one, most people are going to deal with their own group, which means that if you as a Black man date out, it's going to be hard. And because Black people at the bottom of the hierarchy, that makes things hard. So as a Black man, it's better for you to deal within your own group for the most part. And number two, if you're going to quote unquote travel overseas for marriage dating, go to majority Black countries. And now when it comes to this whole American shit, which I'm happy came up, I made a previous live stream about the whole American thing. Look, I don't care how FBA Adolf feels. America is a white settler, Anglo-Saxon, European project. Being American means being white. And I understand that because Black Americans are built from the beginning, they feel like because they've contributed so much, they should be fully American. That's fine. But that doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, because America is a white settler, Anglo-Saxon, European project, that means being American means being white, which means because you're not white, you can never be fully American. And they will put all these other groups over you because other groups are quote unquote close to the whiteness or white adjacent. That's the reality. So y'all can be like Nakamizi. Now, if you pay attention, right, Nakamizi kept denying, right? He kept being in denial about the fact that Black Americans are the bottom side. You can deny all you fucking want to. And it's so funny because he proves my point, right? The FBA ADOS movement, what it's really about is about the fact that Black Americans don't want to be African. They have this deep desire to be American, even though America says you're not one of us. The American society tells Black Americans that, hey, you will never be fully American, but Black Americans also don't want to be African. So that's literally, I'm happy you just saw this in real time, right? He doesn't want to be African, but he cannot be American, right? He cannot be fully American, and he's in denial about that, but he doesn't want to be African. That's what the average Black American is going through. And that's what FBA thing is about. Now, you have some Black Americans who are Pan-Africans who recognize reality, but I would say most of them deep down, they're within that rock and the hard place where they can't be fully American, but they don't want to be African. That's the reality. With that being said, y'all, I'm happy you came out. We had a good stream, but that's my live stream today. And without being said, y'all, like, share, subscribe, hammer out.